Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So guys, I wish your exam went well, and I wish that all of you who watch these sessions, so we'll be able to help you out to tell you where what to do and what you could have done in the exam. So for the same, I welcome you to this session for RBI Grade B Phase 2 Descriptive English solution video. And guys, I'm not giving you the solutions, but I'll be discussing what could be the solutions for this for these questions. So guys, if you can hear me, if you can see me, kindly give me a confirmation in the chat box, and do let me know in the chat box how was your exam. Were you able to complete the exam? Which topic did you choose? So we have been able to find out most of the questions that were there in the exams. For descriptive English, but we will still come up with on a later date, we'll come up with a detailed video, but today it's about an analysis of the paper of this exam, right? So let us start with that. And first of all, again, the pattern was exactly the same for the paper. There were 3 questions for 90 marks as we predicted. One was essay writing, second was précis writing, and third was your reading comprehension. And there were 5 questions on reading comprehension, but there are a few changes. There were a few surprises in the exam that students were not able to, or probably were able to manage, because the exam was not very difficult. So not very difficult, as in what I mean is it was not too easy, but it was not too difficult. It was doable if you had started preparing in time. So let's start with the session. So there were first of all 3 questions, and the first question was essay writing. So essay writing, you were given 4 topics. Now 4 topics were there, and we were able to find out 3 questions out of the 4. So first topic was climate change and its economic impacts on developing countries. So this was an ESI based topic. The topic which is based on your social and economic issues. So climate change and its economic impacts on developing countries. So I think, guys, please do let me know how many of you attempted this topic, and let me tell you what you could have written. So obviously about COP27 and the twin goals that have been decided in COP27 this year. One was to create all the safeguards for everyone in the world, and the second was loss and damage repercussions. So the damages have to be paid by the developed countries to the developing countries. So that was one good topic. And we had, I clearly remember, I had given one passage in the mock tests in our course. So there was a complete passage on exactly this topic, climate change and its economic impacts on developing countries. So the first topic that was given was the climate change, and the major impact was the economic impacts on developing countries. So definitely COP27 के बारे में जरूर लिखना था. You must have written about COP27. You must have written about, started with what what havoc has been created by the climate change in the recent times. If we talk about, let's say, the floods in Pakistan, or the flood situation in India right now, or before that the earthquake, and there are many tsunamis all over the world, right? So there was a hurricane across American continent in the recent past. So all these changes, and now I think if you've read recently, this summer is going to be the hottest in America, somewhere in Florida. So definitely, the climate change can be observed physically on ground level by everyone across the planet. So that you could have started with. Then you could have developed then what are the impacts of climate change. There is climate migration. It impacts agriculture, which is basically the backbone of countries like India, where more than 60% of the population is directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture and allied sector, right? So it has a huge impact on agricultural economy, agrarian economy, and in turn it creates the vicious circle of poverty. And developing nations are the ones who face the brunt of this issue, right? So that should have been your second paragraph, the background of the topic. Then what are the economic challenges? What is the impact? And what is the actual cost of let's say climate change on developing countries? And what needs to be done in this? Then COP27, what government has done, the SDGs. So that should have been mentioned, and then reporting or quoting different reports from UNO or from WHO, right? So that should have been there, and then you should have given a good conclusion for the same topic. So first topic was, it was doable, climate change and its economic impacts on developing countries. Now, second topic was innovative motivation methods. Innovative motivation methods for modern employees aligned with organizational growth. So this was a topic which was based on management. So if you had covered management part, thoroughly, you would have, properly, or you would have been very easily able to write this topic that yes, these days, with modern employees coming into the forum, they are not just motivated by money. So nobody is, or not everyone is just working for money. They have more motivations to work, right? So that, the growth can be aligned with the growth of the organization. So if the employee feels that I can work and I can really align my growth with the growth of the organization. So that was another topic. So innovative motivation methods for modern employees aligned with organizational growth. So that was management based topic. Third topic was multilinguistic social media account for businesses. So this was basically what this meant was, this was again a topic based on current affairs. So we can say that it was based on current affairs related to, technology, science and technology, that we always predict that there are always topic based on such issues in your exam. So this was based on current affairs. The topic was multilinguistic social media account for businesses. That means people who are generating money from social media. You've seen people, going live on YouTube, giving vlogs, blogs and podcasts, whatnot, right? So there are, people who are earning revenue from media. So that was the third topic, multilinguistic social media account for businesses. What is the need for that? So that was the topic. And then there was another topic which students were not able to recall, but when we get this with the detailed solution, we'll provide you with the fourth topic as well. So the change this time was, guys, once again, now for essay writing, the weightage this year was 40 marks. Now guys, up till year 2019, this used to be the pattern for RBI. After 2019, they changed the pattern. They changed the weightage for RC and essay. So RC was 40 marks, essay used to be for 30 marks. But this year, the essay was for 40 marks. So the weightage for essay has increased this year. Similarly with the word limit. The word limit that was given this year for essay was 600 to 620 words. See guys, this is what this exam is all about. I told you RBI is known to surprise aspirants, and you cannot predict that what is going to be the actual weightage or actual word limit before the exam. So I have seen weightage for the word limit 350 words in the past. I've seen the word limit 400 words. I've seen the word limit 600 words, and this year again it was 600 to 620 words. So this was one big change. In descriptive English, the weightage for essay was 40 marks and the word limit that was mentioned was 600 to 620 words. So these were your essay topics. Now, coming to your second question, part of your descriptive English exam was précis writing. So on the basis of the passage, I have come up with with a different passage on a memory based passage, what it was all about. So I'll read the passage to you, and then we'll also give you a sample solution in a few days. But let's look at the topic and what the passage was. So the topic was using artificial intelligence to reduce gender gap. So that was the topic for your précis writing, and instead of the word limit for 150 or 170 words, they increased the word limit this year. The word limit for précis was between 180 to 200 words, but that had to be strictly followed. You cannot write below 180 or you could not write above 200 words. And the topic was using artificial intelligence to reduce gender gap between males and females, right? And the weightage for précis was 30 marks. So I'll read that passage to you, and I want you to try out the précis if you can, or if you remember what you wrote, right? You can you can put in your suggestions in the chat box. So I'll read this for you. In what became the first celebration of International Women's Day in 1991, more than a century ago, women worldwide gathered to fight for their right to education, work, vote, held public office and end discrimination. The same year, the first Model T car rolled off the assembly line, and the computing table recording company was founded, later renamed as IBM. Now, decades later, British mathematician Alan Turing would first question whether the machines can think, and the term artificial intelligence was coined in 1956. Now, women's rights, their economic empowerment, and technology have advanced considerably in the last century. Advances in machine learning, large data sets, and increased computing power have driven AI development in recent years, moving from academic discussions into remarkable real-world applications with real opportunities and challenges for gender equality. Right? Now, for many, 2022 was the year AI became real. The rise of foundation of general purpose AI models, including the emergence of very large language models, paved the way for a generative AI renaissance. With AI that generates novel content, transposes text to video and image, and offers advanced chatbots accessible to all. AI tools became mainstream with the release of AI model ChatGPT, which reached about 100 million monthly active users in just 2 months, making it the fastest growing consumer application in history. Now, with AI tools already changing work, education, and leisure in significant ways, we must ask, is today's AI addressing the gender equality issue that have plagued policymakers for decades? While women have gained the right to education, work, vote, hold public office, and protection against gender discrimination, technologies play a big part in ensuring those rights are upheld. Are policymakers doing enough to ensure that today's AI systems do not perpetuate yesterday's biases? Now, all the technologies have evolved. Some barriers to gender equality and economic empowerment are still much like the ones women faced over a century ago when the world celebrated its first International Women's Day. In many countries, women still have less access to training skills and infrastructure for digital technologies. They're using underrepresented in AI research and development (R&D), while harmful stereotypes and biases embedded in algorithms continue to prompt gender discrimination and limit women's economic potential. Today, men are leading most cutting-edge AI companies, while female voices animate most virtual personal assistants, right? And advanced humanoids robots like Alexa and Siri, or robots Sophia, Ameka, Gia, and Nadine. Now, this reflects gender biases at home, in the workplace, by reinforcing traditional norms of women as nurturers in supporting roles. New generative AI tools can also produce overtly sexualized digital avatars or images of women while portraying men as more professional and career-oriented. As generative AI and robotics advance, their effects on women's economic and social equality remain to be seen. So this was your passage for your Prezi writing. So this was the topic was basically how AI can be used and is used to reduce gender gap between females and males across the world, right? So do let me know, guys, what essay topic did you choose? Okay, so if you are watching the session, guys, now I want all of you to participate in this, and do let me know how your exam went. Was it how did you feel about the exam? Was it moderate? Was it difficult? Was it easy? So what do you think about it? So do share that opinion with me. And which essay topic did you choose? Was it about the climate change and its impacts on its economic impacts on developing economies, or was it about motivating employees with modern techniques which can align with the growth of the organization, which was based on your social issue? Personal value and purpose topic I chosen. Okay, so that was a 4th topic, Pushpendra. Personal value and purpose topic I chose. So it was about the growth and alignment. I think that's the one, Pushpendra, right? So guys, do let me know which essay topic did you write on, and how did you feel about the exam? Do you feel it was it was difficult? Do you feel it was moderate? Do you feel it was easy? So do let us know your opinions in the chat box, and we'll come up with a detailed solution video after some days. We'll try to find the exact passage for you, and we'll come up with sample solutions for all the essays that are there, right? So do let me know in the chat box which essay topic did you write on. Was it about the climate change and its impacts? Was it about motivating employees with modern techniques, or was it about the other topic that I told you about, or multilinguistic social media accounts for businesses? I mean, people using social media to generate employment, to generate money. So which topic did you choose? And if you remember the 4th topic, do let me know in the chat box, right? So this was the Prezi passage. Now coming to the last part, third question, which was reading comprehension this year. Now, reading comprehension usually used to be for 40 marks, but this year, reading comprehension was for 30 marks. So guys, this is what I always emphasize to my students. You have to do the maths. So, and there were 5 questions based on reading comprehension on 30 marks. So 5 questions for 30 marks. That means every question was for 6 marks. Right, so for 6 marks, you had to write about 50 to 60 words per answer. So 50 to 60 words per answer would be a good word limit for 30 marks, right? Because I have understood this. For 1 mark, you have to write 10 words. So if it's a, if the question is for, for 5 marks, so what do you write is, or 6 marks, you write 50 to 60 words, somewhat around that, right? So, exactly, Pushpendra. So the topic, basically what it says was people, they do not work for money only. Like earlier, people only used to focus on, money or the monetary aspect of the job. But now people look at the personal value system and purpose in the organization. So that is what I'm saying, Pushpendra, motivating employees for personal growth and the growth which is aligned with the organizational growth. So I think that was the gist of the topic, Pushpendra, if I'm not wrong, right? If written more than that, more than 180 to 200, Jashanpreet, if you've written more than 200, it would lead to deduction of marks. Around 100 words for Pressy, Jashanpreet? No, if Pressy has to be written within the given stipulated word limit. If they've mentioned between 180 to 200, you have to target that. If you write below that or above that, it will lead to deduction of marks. So very clear response to that. Pressy has to be written in, between 180 to 200 words. Now, reading comprehension, Jashanpreet, not an issue. If you've written 100 words, perfectly all right. See, the minimum, reading comprehension, they do not mention any word limit, right? But what we need to analyze is, there are 5 questions for 30 marks. That means if we divide that, so we can guess that every question is for 6 marks, right? So for 6 marks, that is the bare minimum word limit that you should write. But my point is, it should be a balanced, Jashanpreet. If you're writing one answer for 115 words, and if the other answer is for 30 words, that will not do. So that is the minimum word limit for your reading comprehension, right? Jashanpreet, that's perfectly all right. 30 words were left. You should have written between the designated word limit. So that was the point. So, okay, let's discuss reading comprehension now, guys. Now, the topic for reading comprehension was business corporations increase the price of commodities leading to inflation in the economy in Europe. Basically, if I talk about it, the passage was about greedflation. If I'm not wrong, the passage was about greedflation. This may not be the exact passage, but this is somewhere, based on the same topic, greedflation. So they're calling it, they've coined a name calling it greedflation, right? Where companies are consciously increasing the price of commodities to earn more profit, and that is actually leading to inflation in some countries like in Europe, right? So that was the topic for reading comprehension, and there were 5 questions. The questions were not very easy. They were inferential. I think the 5th question was, what is the purpose of the author to write this passage, right? I think there was a question which was, I think, what can be understood by the term greedflation? So answers were doable, but they were not very easy. That is absolutely true. So let me read the passage for you, what the passage may sound like in the exam, and that would give you a better insight that what you should have done. So some economists argue that businesses are using the cost of living crisis as an opportunity to generate excessive profits. This isn't just an idle theory. Economists at the European Central Bank ECB have some statistical evidence to back it up. You can only learn so much by breaking down the consumer price index. The traditional measure of rising prices, inflation, let's not forget, is simply the rate at which the prices of the average goods and services we spend most of our money on change each year. That might tell you how much is down to food price inflation, but it can't give you a sense of how much of that given increase in food prices is benefiting workers versus their employers. Right, basic economic theory teaches that charging what the market can bear will prompt companies to produce more, constraining prices and ensuring that more people have access to the goods that's in short supply. Say you make empanadas and enough people want to buy them that you can charge $5 each, even though they cost only $3 to produce. That might allow you to invest in another oven so that you can make more empanadas, perhaps so many that you can lower the price to $4 and sell enough that that to your net income. Tempting as it is to blame businesses for what we are suffering through, there is not an enormous amount of evidence from these figures that they are the main culprit. Actually, taxes contributed much more to inflation in 2021 and into 2022 than business profits. That's the other theory. Now, with Britain facing double-digit inflation, a miserable cost of living crisis and rising interest rates, the above might not be of much consolation. And it's quite possible that numbers may well shift. Note that these figures are a little slow to be updated, so we do not think the picture as of the early part of this year. There is not much disagreement that many companies have marked up goods in excess of their own rising costs. This is especially evident in industries such as shipping, which has had records of profits as soaring demand for goods piled up for boats, driving up cost for all traded goods across the economy. Now, profit margins surged during the pandemic and remained elevated. Even so, it's a reminder that the data sometimes tells a subtle different story to the mainstream narrative. So it was questioning that what greedflation is all about, right? All right. Arya Chauhan, there is a word counter on the screen when you are writing your answer in the dialog box, and that word counter keeps on telling you as you write how many words you have already written. So you don't need to count anything. So that's the answer of your query. Jashanpreet, it's actually similar to the previous exam. Last year also the topics were not very difficult. Topics were, doable. There was one ESI topic, one FM topic. There was one generic topic, which was, I think the topic was peace cannot be achieved through war. It can only be achieved through understanding. This was a quotation by Albert Einstein. So the students were asked to elaborate on this. Then there were other topics. One was based on finance. One was based on economy. One was based on management. So it was similar to this year. So the paper was similar on the similar lines last year, Jashanpreet. Not difficult, not easier than that, not more difficult than that. Right? Exactly. I know. See, Pushpender, that is, something will be challenging in the exam. Everything can't be easy for everyone, right? But if you had practiced beforehand, you would still be able to do very well in the exam, right? So this was about descriptive English section of your paper. And we will also be coming up with the detailed solution sessions for your ESI paper and for your finance and management paper in some time. So don't miss out on that, guys. We'll be taking up those sessions very soon, and in a few days we'll also come up with solutions of these questions. And guys, if you want the PDF of this session, you can join our Telegram channel, the link for which has been given in the description of the video, and you can get the PDF and the Telegram group for free, absolutely free. So guys, if you have any doubts, if you have any queries regarding anything else, please feel free to call us during the office hours on this number during on the working days, 8146207241. You can also drop us an email at hello@edutap.co.in, right? Rohan, if you were able to target 400 words out of 600, then probably, for word limit, you would be, losing maybe 1 mark or maximum 1.5 or 2 marks, not more than that, because see, it is really not possible to write 600 words in essay, then 180 or 200 words in Pressy, 800, and then roughly around 300 words in reading comprehension. That takes it to 1100. So if you had targeted 450, 475, or if you write anything below, above 470, 480, that would be a good word limit for your essay, right? Considering this is a 90-minute exam, right? So if you've written 400, just 400, see guys, that is why I always tell my students, be ready for surprises in this exam. RBI, they change something every year. Earlier, if I tell you, till 2018, there used to be 4 questions in RBI, but then they changed it to 3 questions. Then they changed the word limit in 2019. Essay was for 30, RC was for 40, and it continued till 2022. In 2022, we got 5 questions. The word limit was changed to 600 words. So every year there is something new in the exam, and that is what they want to see, your adaptability. If you can walk into the exam and if you are so prepared that you can, if you are asked to write something new or something different, you should be able to do that. So that is the game, that is the paper, right? And if you ask me, sir, what could be a good or excellent score in this? Anything beyond 70 would be an excellent score in this paper. And Anchit sir will be here with you talking more about the tentative cutoffs. He'll tell you tentative cutoffs for ESI, FM and descriptive English collectively, and aggregate cutoff for the paper for phase 2. So wait for that session. We will help you and we will tell you how to how to move further, what can you expect, and can you start preparing, and if you should, then in what direction. So thank you so much for joining in, guys. Thank you so much for your kind words. And if you like the session, if you found it useful, please like the please press the like button, please share the video so that it may help someone out there. So if you have any doubts, if you have any queries, you can contact us on this number, or you can drop us an email on this address, hello@edutap.co.in. So I wish you all the very best in your endeavors ahead. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep on working hard, and happy learning to all of you.